Hello students, and welcome to the CompTIA A+ 1201 exam course brought to you by Third Level Technology. I am your instructor, Jim Herby. This episode we will discuss section 1.2 in the 1201 exam objectives. Our topic is mobile device connectivity and accessories. Let's begin. USB is a common interface that we use to connect peripheral devices to our laptops and our smartphones, as well as for data transfer and device charging. USB Type A, our first USB connector type, is a rectangular connector that we use for both data transfer and power charging our devices. USB Type A is rectangular and contains the pins inside of the connector to allow for its different functions. USB Type A must be inserted in the correct orientation. You typically will have to have the pin side facing upwards as you slide the connector into the interface. If you are unable to slot the Type A connector in the interface, just flip it over and that should take care of your problem. The most recent version of USB Type A is 3.0 and 3.1, which allow for gigabit per second data transfer and quicker device charging. Our next USB type is USB-C. USB-C is connector type that you see on your laptop devices and most of your modern smartphones. USB-C allows us to deliver both power charging, video transfer, and data transfer all through the same cable. USB-C is symmetrical. What that means is you can insert the USB-C connector into either slot orientation on the device and it will connect. Your USB-C is becoming the default standard and is slowly replacing Type A as the predominant USB connector. We also want to understand micro USB and mini USB. Micro and mini USB are two older USB connector types that we use in our older smartphones and devices. Micro USB was a connector that we use for data transfer and charging in your older smartphones. Micro USB is non-reversible. You have to insert it with the correct orientation like you do Type A. Mini USB was an interface created for our digital cameras and MP3 players. As smartphones have taken over many of these musical, audio, and photo features, Mini USB has been phased out in preference for USB-C. Both micro and mini are legacy connectors that you will still see in your older devices. Another connector type we need to understand is Lightning. Lightning is Apple's proprietary connector for its devices, such as iPhones and iPads. Lightning is a white-colored connector that uses an 8-pin reversible orientation. That means we can insert the Lightning connector either way in the interface and it will connect, similar to USB-C. Your Lightning connectors support the same functions: data transfer, charging, and audio output, all on the same cable. Next, we're going to discuss a pair of short-range wireless connectivity methods, NFC and Bluetooth. NFC is near-field communication. It's a short-range wireless communication we can use to allow two nearby devices to transfer data. The most common use case for NFC is mobile contactless payments. If you ever go to a store and use your smartphone to pay for a good using a service such as Apple Pay, Google Pay, or others, this is an example of NFC. NFC can also be used for user authentication. NFC is enabled in many of our biometric scanners that we use to authenticate users that are going into a secure area in our building. Another short-range wireless connection type is Bluetooth. Bluetooth is a standard wireless connection with a range of about 10 meters, or slightly over 30 feet. Bluetooth is included on all of your laptop and smartphones. It goes through a process called pairing. The pairing process will allow our devices to authenticate to each other and create a secure connection. Your Bluetooth connection is enabled by entering in the appropriate PIN code, personal identification number. Bluetooth is a common wireless connectivity method we use for our headsets, keyboards, and mice. Next, we're going to discuss hotspots and tethering. These two topics go together. Hotspotting is when we turn our mobile smartphone into a Wi-Fi wireless access point. Your smartphones have the ability to allow other users to connect to their data plan by making their connection open and available to nearby users. Any nearby users that wish to access our mobile device's internet signal must do so by authenticating with the mobile device's password. Hotspots use the end user's mobile service plan, so there is going to be a data cap and charges if you go over that. A related function is tethering. Tethering is connecting a mobile device directly to a laptop using a USB connection. And tethering can then share the mobile device's internet connection with the mobile laptop. In the remainder of this episode, we're going to discuss some mobile device accessories that we use to help with connectivity as well. First, we're going to discuss a stylus. A stylus is a component we use with our tablets and smartphones for touch screens and drawing pads. We have a pen or pencil shaped device that allows us to provide tactile input using the stylus directly on the screen. Styluses are very helpful for using digital handwriting, artistic works, as well as having very precise input on the screen. Your styluses will support pressure sensitivity and can disable if too much pressure is placed on the screen, as well as palm rejection, where if we try to touch the screen with our finger while the stylus is enabled, nothing will happen on the screen. Our next accessory is a headset. A headset is a component that combines the functions of a microphone with a headphone. Your headsets are used for video conferencing, gaming, and voice telephone calls, and can connect in various different methods using USB connections, Type A or Type B, a 3.5mm analog TRRS jack tip ring sleeve, or wirelessly with Bluetooth. Our next component is a speaker. Your speakers are components that provide audio output for our laptops and smartphones. Your laptops and smartphones will have speakers that are integrated internally on the device that we can control with volume and sound. We also can connect external speakers, speakers that have higher and better audio and sound quality than we have for the built-in device. Your speakers can connect wirelessly with Bluetooth or by USB and TRRS analog jack. Our next accessory is a docking station. A docking station is a component that allows us to connect our laptop device to the station and then obtain the ability to connect with different interfaces to expand the capability of our device. Your docking station will include interfaces for USB Type A and C, Ethernet cabling, as well as video and audio outputs for VGA, HDMI, and others. Your docking stations allow us to take our laptop device and convert it into a desktop setup. It's a very helpful component for our remote or mobile workers. Related to a docking station is a port replicator. A port replicator is a simplified version of a docking station. It's a hardware unit that allows us to connect with the different port interfaces, such as USB and HDMI, but there will be fewer available port interfaces, and there are no power options for your laptop to charge. Your port replicators are typically proprietary. That means they will be specific to a vendor and model of device. Our next accessory is a trackpad. A trackpad is a built-in component of your laptops that allow you to control the screen as if it were a mouse by using your fingers. With your trackpad, you can customize different types of movements that will correlate to different displays for how the cursor moves across your screen. We can create gestures such as tapping your finger, scrolling where you move your finger up and down, or pinch where you move two fingers together to move in or out on your zoom capability. Your trackpad is configured in your system settings on your device, and you can enable or disable them based on your preferences. And our last accessory we will discuss is a drawing pad. A drawing pad is an external accessory that allows a user to input digitally using a stylus. Drawing pads are used by your graphic designers and graphical artists for precision drawing in their digital environments. Your drawing pads can connect to a laptop device using either a wired USB connection or a wireless Bluetooth connection. That will conclude our discussion of Section 1.2, Mobile Device Connectivity and Accessories. In our next episode, we will move on to Section 1.3 in the objectives and discuss mobile device network configurations. We thank you again for following along in the episodes in the course and wish you best of luck in your studies. Enjoy the rest of your day.